Whether you clicked on this video in passing or it was intentionally, I'm back for a reason, and if you clicked on this video, I meet you with greetings. Another episode of Part My Back Podcast. It's me again, Sebastian West. Follow me on Instagram at _Sebastian West, where you can check out my artwork in all of its splendor. Now, if you like what I'm kicking, like what I'm spitting, just know when you tune to this, the cloth is different. Found another drama, and it was pretty good. Another drama, man. It's titled Truth and Justice. Dropped in 2019. It's an Estonian film. I think this is the first Estonian film that I've watched. I think this is the first Estonian film. So they're speaking Estonian. Yeah. Heck of a movie. Now, I'm not fond of dramas yet, and still I'm finding, I don't know, this sort of genre. Now that I'm, I guess, digging through the crates, for lack of a better term, I'm finding dramas that are actually good. Normally I tend to stay away from them, but okay, I'll give them a shot. That's what it seems like as of late. Due to the decline of my interest in movies at the movie theater, so I have to dig and find some hidden gems. And this is one that I think was a hidden gem. Came out in 2019. Film starts off with a farmer who, I guess his dad gave him some land, and he decides to have a farm, you know, the whole shebang. Horses, pigs, goats, the whole shebang. He gets his land. He has a stubborn neighbor. From the gate, you could tell there's going to be some sort of spat between the two. He starts to have kids. And with this whole process, he's wanting to pass it down to his son. He doesn't mind, you know, having daughters and whatnot. But, you know, I guess it's some sort of fascination with an heir to the throne, you know. So he wants to have a son to pass on this farm and this land, the thing that he's building. Like, he's building this for his kids. He's setting them up, per se, for their future. His wife has, I think, 3 or 4 daughters, if I'm not mistaken. He's discouraged. Each time she has a daughter, he's discouraged. You know, he's looking for a son, looking for a son, looking for a son, looking for a son. He has, you know, a whole system. He has, like, made some, you know, they refer to him as like a farm mistress, but he wasn't sleeping with the young lady, not at all. They were just on the farm, on the compound, to like till the land, help with the sheep, you know, things of that nature. They had men there too. Like I said, it was a nice little infrastructure you had set up. They would help with the, you know, help with the land and till the land and the pigs and the whole shebang. Even help with the kids, the whole 9 yards, right? Wife gets pregnant, right? Finally gets pregnant, and she has a son. Now, throughout this process, the neighbor is getting on his nerves. They're going to the court. They're talking about a canal, ditches being dug, and who crossed over what. The dog is crapping in his yard. The main character. The dog is crapping in the main character's yard, and he just puts up with it, all right? He's putting up with all of this. His neighbor is a douchebag. He's putting up with it. Take him to the court. They've seen each other at the local pub. They have words back and forth. Things like that. Like this is the drama between the neighbor and him for this land. Like, it's, you know, drawing a line in the sand, and this is it. Don't cross over here. I don't cross over there. So this is all the drama. Now he has to deal with drama in his own household, which his wife is having babies, and then she's not producing, you know, they're not producing a son, which she is longing for. She finally has one, right? She knew something was up. And what I mean she knew something was up was from the door. I guess a woman knows when something's not right. So she tells the young lady that is, you know, taking care of them. She starts to tell her from the door. As soon as she had the kids, she said, listen, when I'm gone, can you please take care of my kids? Of course, she's like, yo, what are you talking about? Like, well, what do you mean? Why are you saying this? She's like, you know, just promise me that you'll take care of my children. And guess what happened? Yep, you guessed it. She checked. She bit the dust. She knew she was going to die. She told the husband, listen, she promised, I guess the maid per se, the maid caregiver, that she would take care of her kids. In the midst of this, she developed a family. The maid developed a family. So when she passed, the wife passed, she was taking care of her kids and, the woman's kids that she promised to. She's holding this responsibility along with her husband. So all of this is, now the husband wants to leave. In the midst of all this, the husband wants to leave. Like, listen, fam can take care of himself. Leave, I have a plan for us to go over here and we need to go. She took too long, homeboy ended up hanging himself. It's crazy. He ended up hanging himself. He leaves like a note for her, and now she's distraught because she made this promise to her that she wasn't going to leave them, but the guy, her husband, thought that she was in love with him. Plot twist. She felt sorry for him. She didn't want to leave him by himself due to how he helped them out. Live on the land, built they had their own little house, everything. Like, they had everything on the land. Now, in the midst of the neighbor's dog, now the kids have gotten older. Now he's hearing whispers about the guy that hung himself already knew that he was after his wife. All of this is piling up on him. And he's going to court. In the midst of all that, he's still going to court about this neighbor of his and this canal that he's digging. And the neighbor would block off the dam so the water wouldn't pass through. You know what I mean? And it would flood his land. It was crazy. Like, he was wilding. So all this is going on. Like, this whole fiasco is going on. Homeboy hangs himself. They end up getting together. And they end up having children. After homeboy died, after his wife died, they end up having children. This is wild, right? It's crazy. End up having children. The cycle still continues. They're getting older. Now, the neighbor has sons. So his daughters are starting to talk to his sons. They're liking his sons. Comes a line drawn in the sand once again. He finds out, earlier now the new wife finds out that, they're speaking, and she's like, don't tell your father, he'll start wilding. Things start to chitter chatter through the pub once again, at the pub, gossiping about his daughter being a Jezebel or a harlot, and all this was false. He did indeed find out that his daughter is talking to the neighbor. He shuts it down. He says, no, you don't speak with, due to his beef with the neighbor. He states that, you can't talk to him anymore. Don't talk to him anymore. It's over, all right? She says, I'm going to keep talking to him. He says, all right, well, not here. If you do that, you have to leave. He gave her an ultimatum. Now, in the midst of this, he was trying to keep everything together, and I think he just lost it too much. Like, it was just too much going on. Daughter leaves. Son was signed up for, I think, the military, per se. So the military, he told his dad, listen, I'm going to the military and whatnot. They showed you a scene between the two, his dad and him, his son with, his wife that died. They had a scene. And it's inaudible, right? Then later on in the film, they show you what was actually said. The son told him he was leaving, not to go to the military, but just leave him. Man, it broke him down. In the midst of everything that's happening, his only son from his wife said he's leaving. His daughter left, son left. Feels like the world is, the walls are closing in on him. Film goes off with him basically he was in the dam, he was cleaning out the dam. Like, from his neighbor, that let you know that this ongoing beef had still kept going on. His new wife, she had a suggestion, hey, let's just leave. Like, peril started to take place. Famine started to spread through the land. Certain things were dying, and she felt that, hey, maybe we're cursed for doing this. Maybe I'm cursed. We're cursed due to me marrying you after she died, and having kids, and maybe we should just start fresh. He stood his ground. He ended up getting his neighbor back, some sort of retribution per se. He kind of deceived the courts. His neighbor was drunk. He ended up moving the wheelbarrow on his land and state that the neighbor had, kind of sabotaged his land and whatnot. So yes, he ended up doing that in the film. I guess getting back, and through all these years, he never did anything to his neighbor. He tried to be just, but he had to do this to kind of conjure up some little deceitful plan to make it seem like his neighbor was trash. His neighbor was definitely trash. But he kind of crossed the line between, truth and justice. That's why I like this title, man. Listen, Truth and Justice, go check it out. Truth and Justice is definitely a long film, but I appreciated that due to the building of the story and the things that took place. 8 out of 10 of Sebastian's artwork. Truth and Justice, that's what it gets, man. Seriously. Check out Truth and Justice if you can find it. Don't worry about the subtitles. Alright, you should be used to foreign films. There's a bunch of foreign films out here on every streaming platform that exists. So people should get over the subtitle thing, alright? Now remember, big shots number little shot that kept shooting. Slow run is better than no run. If you don't like my reviews, cut me some slack, and if that ain't good enough, pardon my back. Tune in for the next episode of Pardon My Back Podcast. It's me, Sebastian West, signing out. Salute.